Hey guys, what is up everybody and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to talk about Triumph Tiger 660 Sport and its main competition Yamaha Tracer 7. I believe that if you're buying either, or if you're willing to buy Triumph Tiger 660, or if you're looking for Tracer 7, I believe these two bikes will be the main competitors to each other. Because I believe those bikes are more or less identical. When Triumph created this bike, they just looked at what is the main competition, what is the most popular competition for this motorcycle in the market, and I believe it was Tracer 7, because Tracer 7 is such a good combination of everything. I have this chart here which is on your screen right now. And on this chart I want to compare the most, let's say, interesting specifics of the bikes. Triumph Tiger comes with a triple engine 660cc displacement, where Yamaha comes with 689cc twin engine. Honestly speaking, if you're choosing between either of those, there is not a big difference, because both engines are kind of legendary in their niche. This triple engine is super popular among Triumph enthusiasts, and everyone knows it from Street Triple. And this is the latest iteration of this engine, and so far I did not hear anyone saying something bad about it. And my personal experience was super pleasant and super nice, and this bike is just like super smooth from lower RPMs to the higher ones, and on the higher RPMs it gives you a little bit of fun. Yamaha CP2 engine is kind of super versatile engine as well, because it's been used among many motorcycles. It's first of all, it came from MT-07, which is one of the best-selling Yamaha motorcycles in general, and then we saw this engine on T7, which is also super popular, and so many people like this bike. It is crazily popular in Europe and North America right now. And yeah, same engine is on Tracer 7. There is nothing bad about this engine. It's super versatile engine, super friendly, super reliable. And if you go for either of those, I believe you will be satisfied. Speaking of the power, so this triple engine comes with 80 horsepower, and Yamaha provides you with 72 horsepower. But let's be honest, in real life you would never see the difference, because in most common scenarios those bikes will provide you with a lot of fun, they will provide you with comfortable rides, it will be enough power for you almost anywhere. And considering that Tiger is a little bit more heavier, heavier for, let's say, 9 kilograms than Yamaha, so those extra horsepower will compensate you some of the weight on the road. And moving next to suspension, it's kind of interesting to compare suspension on this bike and Tracer 7, because Tracer 7 comes with fully adjustable suspension in front and rear, where on Tiger you only have adjustability in the rear, and you only have a preload, so basically that is the only settings you have. But same time, Yamaha provides you with standard telescopic fork, where Tiger gives you upside down fork by Showa, and it also provides you with better suspension travel, right? So Tiger gives you 150 millimeters in front and rear, and the Yamaha gives you 130 in front and 142 in the back. For me, it feels like Yamaha is a little bit on sporty side, where Triumph is more on, let's say, touring adventure side, because it gives you a little bit more comfort. When you have more suspension travel, you have more comfort. And I said in my previous videos that front is a little bit soft, but then over the time when I was riding this bike and I tried it on different terrains, and I would say that, you know, soft suspension in front is actually provides you with a little bit more comfort, a little bit more ability to travel on different terrains, let's say on a paved roads, and sometimes, let's say, gravel roads as well, so it will handle it pretty much good. And then, speaking of the wheelbase, Tiger is a little bit shorter, where Yamaha is a little bit longer. Electronics, and here we have traction control, we have ride modes, we have ABS, and traction control is switchable, so you can switch it off if you want. So far I did not have any problems with traction control. I actually like the way how it works, because you know, now it's still a little bit cold outside, and I was riding this morning on a like twisty road, and I was flipping this bike from left to right, and I saw sometimes when I, you know, accelerate, I saw the traction control is blinking, so it works so good in background that you don't really feel it. And ABS is good. A few times it worked, especially when I was riding in rain. And ride modes actually support, like help you, because when you're riding through the rain, or like today is, as I mentioned, it's a little bit cold, so I just ride in rain mode, right? So it gives a little bit softer response on throttle here, and engine is not so punchy, which is nice, it's safe, and I believe that it is really good to have such set of electronics on the motorcycle. It's not like crazily advanced level, but it's enough for you if you're new to this motorcycle, if you're new to motorcycling in general, you want to be more comfortable on it and you want to feel safe on the motorcycle. So Yamaha, you know, it doesn't have any of those, right? People might say that you don't really need it on such small motorcycle, but from the other side, as I mentioned, if you're new to the motorcycle, you better to have it. And then my personal opinion that electronics is always good, because humans are not so perfect in everything they do, and electronics works much better, especially when you're tired or maybe you don't pay attention to something. So in those situations, electronics will just back you up in certain situations. Yamaha Tracer 7 2023 model year comes with upgraded dash, and it has built-in connectivity option. So what it provides you with is ability to connect your phone to see your calls, maybe, you know, change the music, and, like, you know, the basic stuff which you need, where Tiger comes without such option from the beginning. But the thing is, it is a Triumph, and as usual for Triumph, you have tons of accessories available to these bikes which are plug and play. It means that you can order original connectivity module from Triumph and then install it onto the bike, and it will give you a possibility to same answer the phone calls, you know, change the music, activate your GoPro camera, and also provide you with some navigation options. It will be simplified version of navigation, because the dash itself is not that big, but you will be able to see that essential information, like, you know, you have to turn right, left, or you go straight for next 5 kilometers, whatsoever. So it has this connectivity possibility, and also it has few more options which you can install on this motorcycle, which is also related to electronics, where Yamaha, you know, with Yamaha you only have what you have from the beginning, so there is no option to add additional features in terms of technology to this bike. Brakes. As I mentioned before in my previous videos, these brakes are good. It is not Brembo brakes, which is typical for Triumph. So like all higher end models for Triumph, they always come with a Brembo calipers. But you know, Nissin is really good company, and Nissin is really good brakes. They provide really good you know, performance. And speaking of these motorcycles, that's what I can say, because it is I think 310, yeah, it is 310 millimeters in the front, 255 in the rear, where Yamaha comes with 298 in the front and 245 in the rear. Triumph comes with braided brake lines. Altogether it comes as a really nice braking package. For Yamaha, their brakes typically really good. Sometimes they a little bit softer, sometimes they're too bitey, you know, but that is not the case for Tracer 7 or any other road focused models on Yamaha, where those brakes can underperform, I would say, comparing to other motorcycles. Tiger comes with a 70.2 liters tank, where Yamaha comes with 70 liters tank. But the interesting thing is that actually fuel consumption performance is much better on Yamaha. So Yamaha claims 4.3 liters per 100 kilometers, where Tiger claims 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers fuel consumption ratio. So it means that more or less they will provide you with the same distance. Seat height is basically the same for these motorcycles, and can be adjusted with lower seat options, which is optional. Luggage capacity more or less the same on those bikes, and both of them can be equipped with the side panniers and top box. You have few more touring features both for this bike and for Yamaha. So you can install tire pressure monitoring system, you can install quick shifter, you can do heated grips. The only, I would say, disappointment for me in terms of Tiger is that Tiger does not have central stand option. So it does not come with a central stand, and it doesn't have it as an option. Where Yamaha also does not come with a central stand, but it has it as an option, and you can pay a little bit extra and you can install it onto the motorcycle. And I believe that if you wanna, not only commute on this bike, but if you also want to travel, central stand is a really good addition to the bike, because it allows you to maintain your bike on the go, especially chain, because you need to lube your chain, you need to clean the chain, and whatever happens, like central stand is always handy. Next one is the service intervals, right? So for this bike, service interval is 16,000 kilometers, which is 10,000 miles. And for Yamaha, it is every 10,000 kilometers. From one side, of course, it looks that service interval is much better on the Triumph, but same time, I probably would not do it every 16,000 kilometers. I would do it between 7 to 10,000 kilometers, just to make sure that bike is well maintained and nothing goes wrong with the bike over the time. And then we have valve adjustment, which is kind of expensive procedure usually, and for this bike it comes at 32,000 kilometers, where for Yamaha it comes at 40,000 kilometers. Again, it's not a big difference between those two bikes as well, but of course 40k is much convenient, much more convenient than 32Ks. It's basically one more service interval, let's say, before you can look into valve adjustments on Yamaha. One thing I did not mention is design, because I believe design is super subjective. I was talking to a few riders which are like 50, 60 years old. I was talking to riders my age, and I was talking to younger riders who are in their 20s. And I noticed that all of those people, they actually like the outlook of the Triumph, right? They like how it looks. It's not something special. It's just like classic design for sport touring motorcycle. And speaking of Yamaha, what I noticed is that because of this futuristic robotics design which Yamaha tries to pursue, I would say the audience for that bike a little bit younger. So everyone in their 20s, 30s might like that bike, but if you look at a little bit older generation, so those guys probably would not go for Yamaha. Because they just don't like design in general. Triumph has a few more things which are those small details which I really like, and they don't really make much of the difference, but again, the difference in details. I like this windscreen much more on Tiger. I like the way how it looks. I like the size of the screen, I like the way how you can adjust it. I also like that Tiger has, you know, few small details such as self-canceling indicators. You know, it's not something significant, but it's really nice to have because you always forget to switch them off. For me personally, Tiger is winning here. It's winning in terms of design, it's winning in terms of ergonomics, it's winning in terms of the way how, you know, things are organized here, and it wins in terms of features. It might, Yamaha might be better in some particular things, but I would say that you know, if you're in that price segment and if you're in that category between 6 to 700 cc, I would say that Tracer for sure is a perfect bike. It is super reliable, and with that bike you can go anywhere. It for sure will be simple to maintain and simple to repair or fix in case you need it. But if you live somewhere in city and if you're just want this kind of classic style, classic design, a little bit more premium, so I would say that Tiger will be the choice. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any other questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.